Greetings from LA, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. Right now where I am here, it is Wednesday, November 15th, 2023, and I have looked at the Criterion Collection website, and lo and behold, they have made their announcement with respect to the planned releases that they have in store for us for the month of February 2024. So that's still a few months away, but they have given us a little hint, or quite a big hint or taste, or titles that we can expect to receive when we enter the month of February in the year 2024. So if it's okay with you, my dear friends, let us, you and I, just share our thoughts and comments with regard to this recent announcement from the Criterion Collection with regard to their planned releases for February 2024. Alright, so before we continue on, let me also say that these are preliminary initial reactions or responses. These may change as we actually get the item or the release itself in February. But for now, let's just think about this in terms of this initial thoughts or initial reactions to this announcement that has just been made by the Criterion Collection. It's a very exciting announcement, by the way, for reasons which I'll try to explain why I feel that way over the course of this video. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, of course, is that if you want more information, more detailed information about the films themselves, little write-ups about what the films are about, planned cover art design, specifications, technical specs, and special features that are planned, etc. Of course, the best place to go would be the Criterion Collection website itself. You can get that information and information about other releases that are either planned or already currently existing in the collection. So my strong recommendation, my dear friends, is for you to check out the website directly for more information. But if it's okay just to share my own personal subjective feelings about this, then thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to do so in this video. I very much appreciate it. And so with that, my dear friends, let me turn to what appears to be the first planned release for February. And it says here, scheduled for release February 6th, 2024. And this is spine number 827. And this is a work, therefore, that currently exists in the Criterion Collection. It is a work which is described as being from 1971, and the filmmaker is Robert Altman. And the name of the work is McCabe and Mrs. Miller. So McCabe and Mrs. Miller already exists in the Criterion Collection under a really formidable Blu-ray release. And so it looks like this new release, this new planned release by Criterion in February of next year, is going to be using the alternative physical media option of the 4K plus Blu-ray combo 2-disc release. So it looks like it's going to be another instance of a title that currently sits in the Criterion Collection physical media catalog, but now this time Criterion will be addressing it with another physical media option employing the 4K UHD disc format in its customary 4K UHD plus Blu-ray combo release fashion. And so it looks like here it says, yes, 4K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack, etc., with the supplements that appear to be those which we had already seen in, as I say, the very robust and formidable Blu-ray release from Criterion. So we shall see if there are any significant changes or differences between, say, the presentation qualities of the currently sitting Blu-ray and anything that might be detected or might be noticed in this new 4K UHD physical media offering. I don't see anything necessarily in the description on the website right now that might suggest anything that seems to be drastically beyond or drastically different from what we're getting already with the Blu-ray release. But we shall see when we explore this together. And speaking of exploration of this together, you and I, my dear friends, this film, McCabe and Mrs. Miller, I am a huge fan and admirer of this film, McCabe and Mrs. Miller. This is one of those really very poignant and very complex films And I think the words or the adjectives poignant and complex, I think, from my viewpoint, are very apropos when working or when thinking about the works of Robert Altman during this period, or perhaps as an example in this period, because Robert Altman's filmography is immense and incredible. This period, for example, being one of those shining points of a period or a filmography that has so many shining points. McCabe and Mrs. Miller is one of those shining points. It has a real captivating story. Its ambiance and atmosphere and environment, and the story of this relationship, which is, it takes incredible and quite one might say drastic turns in many ways, and I'll try to reserve my comments to that point again for the benefit of those who have not yet seen this work, McCabe and Mrs. Miller. It is a towering achievement, and I've been a huge fan of this film for quite a while, prior to the Criterion release from a few years back, and then when Criterion released it, as I say, at that wonderful, formidable Blu-ray release, it was a really exciting period. And now this occasion of February 2024 will be yet another opportunity not just to revisit this, but now to explore this together, you and I, because I don't think I've had the great privilege, or I don't think I've managed to talk about this film on this channel yet. So this will give us a wonderful opportunity to do so. I cannot wait to hear from you, your thoughts about this when we talk about this one. I'm looking forward to this immensely. So this is the first release planned for February 2024, February 6, 2024. And this is the re-release of, or the re-emergence using the 4K UHD plus Blu-ray combo format option of the film McCabe and Mrs. Miller. Next up, scheduled for release on February 13th, 2024. And this is a multi-disc set. It looks like it's a Blu-ray disc set. And from the appearances, it looks like it's going to be 4 discs total, I think. And it seems to be corresponding to a number of films, 4 films in total. That's what it appears to me. And this is given the title, or excuse me, before I go any further, this set is given the spine number 1206. I'm not sure if the site, yes, the site doesn't appear to my eyes anyway to be indicating any spine number for the individual films themselves, but that's okay. The set is given a spine number of 1206, and this is from the filmmaker Eric ROHMER'S, and the name of the set is Eric ROHMER'S Tales of the 4 Seasons. Those 4 seasons are A Tale of Springtime, A Tale of Winter, A Tale of Summer, and A Tale of Autumn. Oh my goodness, this is very exciting. Very, very exciting. I have seen only 2 of these tales in my life, and I haven't seen the other 2. So it would be really exciting. And even those, the films that I have seen in this cycle of works by ROHMER'S, I've seen them only, I saw them many, many years ago. And in fact, I saw them on VHS tape. And the VHS tapes, I remember, had actually slightly different wordings of the English translations of the titles. So this will be so great to be able to revisit those works, as well as watching or being able at last to catch up with the other films I had never been able to see in my lifetime. Oh my goodness, this is really great. So A Tale of Springtime and A Tale of Summer, and then can't wait to see A Tale of Winter and A Tale of Autumn. Now, I remember I had a professor in school, in a film studies related class, who was very much into Eric ROHMER'S, and I was going to school around the time that these films were being released. This was in the 1990s, and so when these films were being released, or they were becoming, I think, accessible, or they were being part of the conversation anyway. I remember I wasn't at all an expert. I'm still not an expert in ROHMER'S, but my professor, who I admired and respected so very much, he was so into these works and very excited about the emergence of these films in the now emerging conversation of Eric ROHMER'S during this period of ROHMER'S filmography. So, and what I know, again, based on my limited experience and exposure to only a few of these films on VHS format many, many years ago, I recall a sense of let's say, the whimsy of the detail of the human drama of relationships, let's put it that way, in the sense of the poetry of the mundane, and also the significance and importance that leads to certain possibly dramatic impact or significance. So, and set in various different, say, variations. So I'm looking forward to this immensely. It'll be a great reawakening and learning experience, all wrapped up into this multi-disc set. So with a number of special features as well. So we've seen already a number of these sorts of multi-disc sets or collector's releases, let's put it that way, that aren't necessarily oversized in terms of dimension or physical size dimension. So that might be the case here. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But that's okay. Nothing wrong with the quote-unquote customary dimensions of the physical size casing. I'm a big fan of that. We've seen a number of those great releases already through 2023, and looking forward to getting this as well. Oh my goodness, yes, I remember. Or I'm beginning to recall the memories of these films, at least the ones that I saw, plus these conversations that I had with my professor, or the conversation that the professor was having, and I was listening because I wasn't able to participate. Because I'm no way an expert when it comes to works of Rohmer. Well, we have spoken about some Rohmer films on this channel, though, but in the context of Criterion releases. But hopefully this will continue in that tradition. I look forward to this very much. So this is, yes, a Blu-ray set, 4 discs it indicates. So no other formats seem to be offered, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm still a big fan of the Blu-ray format as well as other formats, and that rings true for in the context of this release, which is Eric Rohmer's Tales of the Four Seasons. So next up, scheduled for release on, let's see, February 20th, 2024, and this is for 2 films in one release. So collectively, it's given spine number 1207. And it looks like we have the option of an either 4K plus Blu-ray combo set, which is 3 discs, or we have a Blu-ray set, which is 2 discs. And I'm speaking of 2 films, which are The Heroic Trio and Executioners. So, wow. So Heroic Trio and Executioners are coming to the Criterion Collection. So Johnny To and Ching Siu-tung. These are really wild and so imaginative action, spectacle, fantasy works of entertainment. Oh, these are really, really great. You know, I don't own them on disc, but I have seen them. And the Heroic Trio and Executioners, or Heroic Trio 2 sometimes. But yes, Executioners. And so this is really, really exciting news. And it looks like we have restorations, 4K digital restorations as the basis for this. So I don't know what the status of these films are in terms of the restoration quality. So that's something that I'm going to have to explore on my own. But I have, again, it'll be exciting to be able to revisit these films again, because these are really, really entertaining. Wonderful blend of this sort of fantasy action, and the stories are really quite captivating. So. And these 2 films together, the Heroic Trio and Executioners are coming to the Criterion Collection with the 4K option as well. Wow! So it looks like, again, right, Criterion. There might be other labels, of course, that are maybe having a lot of titles, maybe more titles than Criterion, in terms of say films from this period of, say, the film industry of Hong Kong, etc., for certain filmmakers. But we have seen Criterion make a number of releases, maybe not as many as other labels, granted, but still they are making a number of releases. And so this looks like to be part of that continuing tradition, which I hope to be long-lasting and voluminous indeed. Ching Siu-tung and Johnny To. We have seen other Johnny To films released in the Criterion before, so and it's great to see that tradition being continued on with this release. So the Heroic Trio and Executioners, and take a look at that cover art design if you have a chance on the website. It looks fabulous. So anyway, so this is scheduled for release February 20th, 2024. Next, scheduled for release also February 20th, 2024. And this is scheduled for spine number 1209. And the filmmaker is Michael Rohmer. Wow. And the name of the film is Nothing But a Man. Wow. So Nothing But a Man is coming to the Criterion Collection. It looks like it's going to be offered on a Blu-ray disc offering or on a DVD physical media option. So it's nice to see the DVD format still being made available. It's a really important format. So, but wow, Nothing But a Man. Michael Romer's Nothing But a Man. So this is also something where uh, I have very fond memories. For example, of first hearing about this film, Nothing But a Man, from one of my film professors or professors in university, who's a film studies professor and who was such a keen expert on Nothing But a Man. Michael Romer, at the time, was also associated with the institution, the university that I was going to. So a really big deal, at least in sort of film study circles on campus at the time I was going to university. And and so in that way, it already sort of built in my mind in terms of its legendary status. And then when I was able at last to watch it, there were many concepts that again were really very kind of very shocking and surprising and very impactful. And again, upon first watch, many things too I was unable to comprehend, but then trying to engage with it as much as I was able to, it became a very special experience. But I haven't been able to watch it since then, or for many years that have passed since being able to watch this last in my lifetime. So now to be not only presented with this news of this new Criterion list, but Nothing But a Man, Michael Romer film, Nothing But a Man. Wow, this is incredible. And I should also mention to the contribution and the collaborative relationship or the partnership, and I'm sure this will be mentioned in the release with Robert Young, so Robert M. Young. And so it'll be great to get a sense of this, to re-explore and become reacquainted with this work, Nothing But a Man. This is going to be exciting, and it looks like, according to the release here, or the release news, it's going to be new restored 4K digital master, approved by director Michael Romer, with then compressed monaural soundtrack. So I don't know what that means in terms of this new restored master, because I haven't seen this restoration. So this will be great to be able to revisit this, and a number of supplements here as well. But oh my goodness, this is a very powerful film. And it'll be really fascinating to watch this again, to become reacquainted or revisit this film again, watching it in the context of, say, the currency of the climate of the moment. So my goodness, this is incredible, absolutely incredible. The performances here are amazing as well. So I cannot wait to be able to speak about this one and watch this again. Oh my goodness, I'm so surprised by this, pleasantly so. This is the Michael Romer film, Nothing But a Man. Last but certainly not least, we have scheduled for release February 27th, 2024, and this is also for either a 4K plus Blu-ray combo edition, 2 discs, or Blu-ray, 1 disc, or a DVD, 1 disc. So we have the DVD format also being made available for this release, which is the Raoul Walsh work, described as being from the year 1939. And this is for spine number 1208. And the work is The Roaring Twenties. The Roaring Twenties. So, oh my goodness! I was just, well, not just, but I say just again, but I think earlier this year, maybe the tail end of last year, I forget, but within the last several months or so, I actually got this on DVD when I was still in Japan. And I mean, it wasn't the first time I'd seen this film, but it was the first time I owned it on a disc. So it wasn't a Criterion disc, but it was the DVD release from, I think, from the most recent DVD release of this outside of Criterion. And it was great then to be able to revisit this. My goodness, this is kind of it's this period piece of, say, gangsters and criminals, and the story, which is really famous in this genre or subgenre of films during this period. So, and also it's part of the great tradition, and it's also because it's setting so many of those traits in a very remarkable and memorable way, especially with its cast of James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart, and the Warner Brothers gangster film cycle. It's oh my goodness, and the period and the like. And so the 1930s example comes shining through with the Roaring Twenties. So this is really exciting. So now to get this news of, and it looks like a new 4K digital restoration of this work. So I don't know about the new 4K digital restoration, so it'll be interesting to see what that has in store for us. But in any event, this work directed by Raoul Walsh, The Roaring Twenties, one of the classics of the genre, for really great reasons. I mean, it's dynamic, it's entertaining, it has that legendary earthy status to it as well. And very, just very memorable across the board. So I cannot wait to be able to revisit this one. So it'll be interesting to see how it compares with, say, previous releases of this. But in any event, The Roaring Twenties, coming to Criterion, and I'm thrilled. It's spine number 1208, and I'm thrilled to see the many formats that are going to be made available with this, including the DVD format option, which I'll say it again, I wish the DVD format could be made available for all of the releases. But it's better to have some than not at all. So I'm very happy with that option. But of course, we also have the Blu-ray option and the 4K plus Blu-ray option as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this looks in terms of, again, the new 4K digital restoration with Dolby Vision HDR, and for the 4K UHD disc of the film. So The Roaring Twenties is coming to the Criterion Collection, roaring into the Criterion Collection, as it were. Again, scheduled for release February 27th, 2024. All right, so that's it as far as the announcements for February 2024 are concerned. So what do you think, my dear friends? How do you feel about the planned releases that Criterion has in store for us in the second month of the year 2024? Looks like the 4K UHD option, or the 4K option, is still going strong in the hands of Criterion, although at the same time, as I did mention, we're not seeing the DVD format completely done away with. We still see that format also being engaged with. True, seemingly in a limited capacity, but still something. It's better than nothing at all. So I'm very pleased to see that. Again, I really think that the DVD format, it's so important. It really should be made as widely available as possible still. But again, where it can be made available, I'm very happy to see that news. And just in general, I'm incredibly, I guess I say this every time, but I'm very, very happy and surprised by a number of these. We see the re-release of titles, or re-emergence of titles that already exist in the physical media catalog of Criterion. I'm speaking of McCabe and Mrs. Miller, but we're also seeing mostly here new entries, and my goodness, they seem to be quite varied in terms of scope, which is remarkable. Usually Criterion announcements for a given month period, they tend to be already quite varied and somewhat, say, showing different aspects of cinema, which is, as you know, a wide, varied ocean of works and art and expression. So given the limited nature of a 1 month period, and that we have only 4 or 5 titles mostly when we get Criterion announcements like this, it's still quite remarkable to see this. What I consider to be a pretty respectable, range of variety in terms of what's being offered here. And I'm not just speaking about McCabe and Ms. Miller, which is a fantastic film, by the way, but we also have the ROHMER'S set. And as I mentioned, I'm familiar with some, but not familiar with others. So it'll be great re-entry into that world, plus new watches for me. And then we have some really great, genuinely exciting surprises here in terms of the Heroic Trio and Executioners combination, and then the Roaring Twenties as well. And again, I think I have a personal memories that are now being stirred up within me with regard to the work "Nothing But a Man" and Michael Romer. So that is stunning, absolutely stunning news. I am stunned. I'm shaken. I'm thoroughly surprised and excited by this. And I cannot wait. So far, January and February, so far, this is shaping up to be a very exciting lineup indeed. And I should point out, too, that we're getting a lot of these quote-unquote multi-disc sets. Well, I shouldn't say quote-unquote because they are multi-disc sets. So they're multi-disc sets in the sense that we're getting more than one film. And I like that. I really do like that. And we're getting the Ackerman works at the beginning of the year in February. We've seen a lot of these multi-disc sets already in 2023. Todd Browning set, Bo Widerberg set, maybe at the tail end of last year too, at the beginning of this year. So we're getting a number of these multi-disc sets, which I really appreciate. It's interesting. Again, I'm always a fan of seeing the films themselves individually spine numbered. We're not seeing that anymore. I think we used to see that a lot in the maybe up to a few years back, but then the recent year or so, that has subsided in favor of just giving the collector set one collective spine number. But that's okay. That's a very minor point that we can, of course, discuss when we get to those sets specifically. But when we talk about these films, oh my goodness, what a rich and varied and delightful and exciting cinema journey ahead, if January and February are any indication. So, wow. So, my dear friends, these are the announcements, the planned titles for February 2024 from Criterion. So what do you think? Please feel free to let me know in the comments section below. As always, I'm very thrilled to hear what it is you have to say. If you're very excited, great. If you're not excited at all, that's fine too. Please let me know. Your opinions and your reactions are very valuable. And so, however you feel, that's very important. So please, if you would be so willing to share with me some of your own thoughts and comments and views and opinions, I would be so honored to be able to listen to them and to hear them. Because as I say, your views are very important. And so with that, my dear friends, that's it for now. So that's the video for now, my dear friends. So what do you think? Let's continue the conversation. I hope to see you at the next video, my dear friends. But until then, please continue to be happy and healthy and well. And please keep on watching a lot of great movies. They can be in the Criterion Collection. They can be outside of the Criterion Collection. Cinema is vast. Cinema is exciting. Cinema is so wide-reaching and all over the place. And that's what's so great about it. So they can be films in the Criterion Collection. They can be films not in the Criterion Collection. However it is you feel, my dear friends. But whatever the case, I always hope that you continue to watch a lot of great movies. And so, with that, my dear friends, please continue to be happy and healthy and well, and I'll see you at the next video. But until then, be strong, be safe, and cheers.